Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. We are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about Terraform state management. Okay, so as your Terraform uses become more advanced, there are some cases where you need to modify the Terraform state. Okay, it is not recommended to modify the Terraform state file manually. So instead you can use Terraform state command to modify your Terraform state. Okay, so here is some list of the command that we can use to manage our Terraform TF state file. So the Terraform TF state command is used to advance state management. So here we have list of the command, and here we have description that what it command do actually. So list resources with the Terraform state file, MB move an item with Terraform state, pull manually download and output the state from remote state, push manually upload a local state file to the remote state, RM remove item from Terraform state and show the attribute of a single resource in the state, and replace provider used to replace the provider of the resource in a Terraform state. Okay, so here we are going to discuss one by one practically and theoretically as well. Okay, so the first command is Terraform list. The Terraform state list command is used to list resources within a state, Terraform state, useful if you want to quickly view all the resources managed by Terraform. Okay, so whenever you want to see all the resources that are currently getting managed by Terraform, you can use command Terraform state list. So let's go ahead and see it practically. Okay, so here I have written the Terraform configuration. Here I have defined the provider. Then after that I am going to create one S3 bucket, and I am also enabling S3 bucket versioning here. And then after that I am going to create one security group with the name of prod SG, and then after that I am going to create two users that you can see it here, prod user and dev user. Okay, and here I have backend.tf that I am using for like remote state management, that is in our case is S3. Okay, so this, and I am also using here S3 native state locking. Okay, S3 native state locking mechanism, and my current Terraform version is 1.12.2. okay, so if you have like Terraform version greater than 1.10.0, then you can go ahead and you can use the Terraform S3 native state locking feature that is introduced by Terraform. Okay, so first I am going to comment this block, because once I will create the Terraform TF state file here, then I will migrate that TF state file from local to backend. Okay, so for that use case I am going to comment this out, and let's save these changes here. Now let's open the terminal and let's run Terraform init to create and initialize our resources. Okay, it will download all the required provider plugin and the configuration that are required to provision our resources that we have defined in main.tf. Okay, so Terraform init is running and it's successfully initialized. So let's run Terraform apply -auto -approve. Okay, to create the resources. So let's go to the AWS console. As you can see it here, I don't have any S3 bucket here currently. So if you see here, I don't have any S3 bucket. Now as we have run our Terraform apply, the bucket should be here. let's wait for few more seconds so that Terraform apply is running. So let's wait. As you can see, plan 5 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy, right? So it's creating all the resources that we have defined in main.tf, right? So it's creating the resources. So we will be able to see the bucket here, right? And under this bucket we don't have anything till now, right? So let's go ahead and uncomment this backend.tf file so that we can migrate our TF state from local to backend. If you see here, we have everything. We have all the resources configuration, all the resources detail here in the TF state, right? So in order to migrate from local backend to S3 backend, we need to run Terraform init. So let's run it. As you can see, so Terraform has been successfully initialized, and if you go here, if you close this tab, if you go here, okay, so I save these changes? Okay, I might not save that changes, so that's why it was we didn't push our Terraform TF state from local to backend. Okay, so as you can see, our backend is getting pushed from local to the S3 backend. If you explore now Terraform TF state, it will be blank, right? So now we can go ahead and we can delete this file as well. There is no issue. So let's go ahead and first explore the Terraform TF state file that is available here. So you can see here the prod directory is here, and under prod directory we are able to see the Terraform TF state file, right? So the first command was Terraform state list to list all the resources. So currently we have created 5 resources, right? So let's run Terraform state list to see all the resources that are currently getting managed by Terraform. Okay, so it will output the 5 resources, 1 2 3 4 5, right? So that resources are getting managed by Terraform as we have defined in main.tf, right? So let's go to the document and see another command that we can use for our state management, right? So the another command is Terraform state show. So Terraform state show command is used to show the attribute of a single resource in the state, useful for debugging and understanding the current attribute of a resource. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this command to see the attribute state show and the resource name we have to provide. So I am going to use this resource name, that is 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗣𝗟𝗘𝗧𝗘. Okay, so it's going to output all the attributes that belongs to this user, dev user. Okay, so let's wait for few seconds. So as we can see it here, the output is here. So resource AWS 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗣𝗟𝗘𝗧𝗘 and the ARN and some other attribute that belongs to this user. This is how we can use Terraform state show command to see all the attribute that belongs to any resource, right? So let's go back to the document and see another command. So the another command is Terraform state pull. Command is used to pull the state from a remote backend and output it to the in the terminal std out. Okay, useful to view or backup the current state stored in the remote backend. So suppose if you don't have AWS console access, you cannot go to the S3 bucket, okay, and you can see the Terraform TF state file. You have to download it and you have to view it, right? But if you don't have this AWS console access, but still you want to see the Terraform TF state file. Then how you can achieve it? You can achieve it using Terraform TF state full command, right? So let's use that command and we will be able to see complete Terraform TF state file in the terminal. We can use this file for our backup purpose. We can use this file for our Terraform TF state management purpose, and we can explore all the resources that are currently getting managed by Terraform, right? So let's go back to the document and see another command. So the another command is Terraform state rm. So command is used to remove item from the state. Use this when you need to remove a resource from Terraform state management without destroying it, right? So suppose you are managing a large infrastructure using Terraform, and some like users they did like manual changes in any EC2 or any resources that you don't want to manage with the Terraform because of the conflict that have been made by like end user, okay, in that resource manually. So instead of like managing that in like resource using Terraform, you can avoid managing that resource and you can still use that resource, and you can use that resource manually, and you can manage that resource manually, okay? So what you can do here, you can use that command Terraform TF state rm. So let's go ahead and see this, okay? So let's use first Terraform state list. So it will help me to use the command, okay? So state rm command, right? So what we have to do, state rm, okay, and I am going to use this, okay, to remove Terraform state rm and AWS IAM user dev. So the resource address that you want to remove from Terraform TF state, okay? So as you can see, removed AWS IAM user dev, successfully removed one resource. So let's run Terraform state list to verify that we are like able to see the user dev or not. So as you can see it here, we are not able to see the IAM user that is dev, right? That because we have just removed that user using Terraform state rm command, right? So then after removing from like a state file, we also have to remove it from the configuration file. So let me remove that as well, and let's save these changes, and let's go to the document and see the another command. As you can see, the another command is Terraform state mv command is used to move an item in the state to a different address, right? So whenever we want to rename any resources that are currently getting managed by Terraform, so in that case we can use Terraform state mv command. So let's go ahead and try this out. So state mv, and I want to rename this to from prod to stage, okay? So let's run this command. As you can see, successfully moved one object, okay? So if we see here Terraform state list, we will be able to see the stage, IAM user stage, not the prod user, okay? So as you can see it here, we are able to get the IAM user stage, and we have like renamed this user IAM user from prod to stage, right? So what we have to do, after changing this, we have to also make changes in Terraform configuration. Let's make change here as well. Let's save this change. Okay, and what other command we have here? So the other command is replace provider. So the Terraform state replace provider command is used to replace the provider for resource in a Terraform state. Okay, so whenever you want to replace your provider from like AWS to Azure, you can use this command, but this command is not like really get used whenever you are working in real time for any project. Okay, because you are not going to do and use this like command, you are not going to change the provider all the time. Okay, there might be some cases that you need to change the provider and you need to migrate from AWS to Azure, okay, or from Azure to AWS, but this command is not really get used whenever you are going to work in real time projects and real time organization. Okay, but just for knowledge purpose I want to show you this command that you should be aware is like there is some command that can be used to replace the provider as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this command. So Terraform state replace hyphen provider. Okay, and what we have to use here now? So let's go to the web pages and look for the AWS Terraform provider. Okay, so let's open the first one, and meanwhile let me open the Terraform Azure provider as well, because I want to change the provider from AWS to Azure, right? So we have to use first this registry .terraform.io. okay, so let's use this. And then forward slash, and let's go back to the document, click on use provider. Okay, and here we can see 𝗧𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗥 AWS, right? Let's copy this one, and paste it here. Okay, so then after that we just have to copy this and we have to paste it here, and from AWS we need to change it to where? Let's open the first one, and as you can see the Terraform like registry.terraform.io is here as well. So click on use provider. As you can see 𝗧𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗥, and here we have Azure RM, right? So we just need to add here Azure RM. Okay, so let's run our command and see we are able to change the provider. Okay, so it will change the provider from, so as you can see it's asking for updating provider from Terraform 𝗧𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗥 AWS to registry terraform.io 𝗧𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗥 Azure RM. So changing 4 resources. So let's say yes, we want to migrate the provider from AWS to Azure RM, right? Successfully replace provider, right? And now if we go here and if we run Terraform state pull, we will be able to see the provider Azure RM in our Terraform TF state file, right? So let's go up. So as you can see in the provider block, we are able to see Azure RM. Before it was 𝗧𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗥 AWS. So we have just changed the provider That's because it's get migrated from AWS to Azure RM. So this is how we can use the command to like manage our Terraform state file, and we can manage our Terraform TF state using the command line. Okay, so this is all about this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, any confusion regarding this video, then do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.